So if you are a little behind and you missed the demonstration on 1 point perspective, I'm going to do a tutorial on that right now. And if you missed 2 point, I'll do another one for the 2 point. First thing you want to do is draw a line across your page and put a dot somewhere near the middle. After you've drawn that dot, you're going to draw a box. Don't do it directly underneath, go over to the side. And I'm going to make mine about 2 inches long. And I'm going to come down maybe about an inch and make another line 2 inches long. Turn your T-square and put it against the edge of your paper and draw the 2 vertical lines so that they're perpendicular or at right angles to the horizon. Or you could put it on the horizon itself to draw those 2 lines, making sure that they are at right angles to the horizon. So now you have a box, and the box is parallel top and bottom to the horizon and perpendicular. And that's how perspective looks in 1 point. You're going to connect all the corners to the vanishing point until you have some very long looking triangles. Let me zoom in a little bit on that, I think. Make sure it focused. Okay. Move that over a little bit. So the next thing I want to do is I want to end my box. So I'm going to end my box by putting the T-square on the right edge of the page. And I'm going to bring my T-square up a little bit higher than the box, but not as high as the horizon line, and draw the line across from the farthest right line to the middle line. Then I'm going to turn my T-square, line it up with the horizon, and put my pencil on the line that I just drew at that corner and come down. So now I have a box that's showing these 2 lines are parallel to each other and these 2 lines are parallel to each other. I'm going to get rid of the lines that go back to the vanishing point so that I don't get confused by them, so I need to erase them. Okay, so the next thing that you're going to do is find the center of your box. You could do it on the left or the center front, and I think I'll do it here, so if you want to follow along with me, it's easier that way. Make an X. Once you have an X, put your T-square back on the horizon line, put your pencil in the center of the X, and draw a line up beyond all the lines that you've drawn, but not crossing the horizon or touching the horizon. So it should be down a little bit from the horizon. Then connect this top line that you just drew to the 2 corners of the front of the building. Once you've done that, you can erase the lines that are inside the front. So you start to see that as one front face of the building. And then we want to put a roof on the left side of the building. So I'm going to put my pencil on the peak of the roof and my ruler is on the vanishing point. And I'm going to draw the line back. And then the next thing I want to do is end the roof so that it's parallel to the front, or the lines are equidistant. Parallel is like this. This is converging. That's parallel. Put your ruler on the front of the building and slide the ruler back without changing the angle. Put your pencil on the back corner and draw it up to the roof line. Then erase what you have inside, because now that's invisible, and I like to shade this in so I can really start to see that as a roof. Here's my blending stump. Alright, so then I'm going to show you how to put a window and a door on here, and then I'd like you to try and challenge yourself to do the other two boxes without watching the tutorial. And then you can watch it after and see if you did it right. But if you're really struggling, you can use the tutorial to get yourself through drawing the other two buildings. Alright, so I want to put a door on the front. So I need my door to be perpendicular to the horizon. And I'm going to center it. Yours does not have to be centered. So I start with one line that's tall enough for someone to walk through. Draw the line across so that I'm using my T-square on the right edge of the paper and it's parallel to the horizon. Then put my T-square back on the horizon so that I get a perpendicular line for the right side of my door. Now I have a door. I'm going to color that in, or you can erase if you like. You put a doorknob on it. You can make it a barn door with an opening in the middle. The next thing I'm going to do is put a window on the side of the house. To do that, I want to start by making a mark about how far over from the front corner I want to be. Then I'm going to put my T-square on the horizon, put my pencil on that dot I just made, and draw a line that is not touching the bottom or the top, but sort of in the middle. Then from the top and bottom of that line, I'm going to go to the vanishing point. And then I want to end this line because I don't want my glass to go all the way to the back of the building. You need some kind of a support at the back edge, so I'm putting my T-square on the horizon and ending that window. Then erase these extra lines. If you want, you could divide this into two windows. I'm gonna get a little tricky here and try to find the middle by making an X between the corners like we did to find the center of the roof. And that will give me the middle where if the windows were the same size, that gives me the right proportions. You can see that my front window looks bigger than my back window, and that's because of perspective. As things move back in space, they appear to get smaller visually. So you're going to see that even though these two windows, if I walked right up to them and measured them, they would be the same length. But in perspective, one looks smaller than the other. So again, you can turn off the video now and challenge yourself to put one on the horizon and one above, or you can keep watching and I'll show you how to do it. Move my paper over and I want to put one on the horizon. So I'm going to put my ruler on the left edge and I'm going to draw one line. It's about 2 inches long below the horizon and another line above the horizon. It's the same length. Turn the T-square and connect those two lines with a vertical line that's perpendicular to the horizon. Now I'm going to erase my horizon line that's going through the middle of the box because I don't need it. And then I'm going to see how many corners I can make go to the vanishing point. Vanishing point is like the center of a clock. If you put your pencil on the vanishing point and just rotate the ruler like the arms of a clock, you will get it right every time. Okay, so I can only do 2 lines because if I try to do this line, it's going to go right through the middle of the building. And we're not doing any lines that are invisible right now. So the easiest way to get the end of the building is to put my T-square on the top or bottom edge of the page and then drop that line however wide I want it to be. So now I'm going to get rid of these lines that go to the vanishing point. I'm leaving my horizon. And I'm going to find the center of the building, and this time instead of putting it on the front side, which is parallel to the horizon, I'm going to put it on the side that is going back to the vanishing point. But I still have to use an X to do it. So I draw my X to find the middle, put my T-square on the top edge of the page, put my pencil in the middle, draw a line up, and this time I'm going to make a really tall roof, but you don't have to. Go from the corner to the peak, and then from the other corner to the peak. Alright, so in this case, this side, both top and bottom, are parallel to the horizon. So the roof line should also be parallel to the horizon. So I'm going to put my T-square on the left edge of my page and slide it up to the point where I'm going to place my pencil and draw the line across. And I don't really know how long that line needs to be until I put my ruler parallel to the front edge, and I'm going to slide it back to the back corner, and that's where I'm going to draw my line. So I'm not changing the angle, sliding it back, put my pencil on the back corner, and draw the line up to the top of the roof, and then erase this part. Okay, so that gives you a building on the horizon. You're going to want to put a window and a door on it. So now I'm going to put a door on the front of my building here. I'm going to go like this. So I drew my left line. Now the top line, this is the right side of the building, which is going to the vanishing point. So because it's on the right side of the building, all these lines are going to the vanishing point. So I want you to think about the top of the door. The top of the door is not going to be parallel to the horizon. It's going to go to the vanishing point, just like all the other lines on the right side of the building. So the top of the door goes to the vanishing point. And then I'm going to end the door by putting my ruler, my T-square on the bottom edge and making sure it's perpendicular to the horizon. And then I'm going to color it in. So a lot of students make the mistake of doing the top of their door parallel to the horizon. So make sure that because it's on the side it's going to the vanishing point, make sure you're going to the vanishing point on the top of that door. I'm going to put a window on here. Now this side of the house is parallel to the horizon, so all the lines on the windows will also be parallel to the horizon. So I'm going to do 2 lines like that, and every vertical line that you do is always going to be perpendicular to the horizon. So you're always putting your T-square on either the left or right side of the page or the top and bottom. So now you can erase your extra lines that are going through the building. You could shade in the roof. Get rid of these just to neaten it up. And you can darken lines if you want. I'm going to take my graphite and shade in the roof. use my blending stump. And if you want to get creative with this, you can. You could make it look like there's snow on the roof, or put something like a wind instrument on the roof, whatever you want to do, but make sure you clean it up. And then the last one we're going to do is above the horizon, and this one is called a bird's eye view, because we're looking down on it, and if I was a bird, I would be able to see the roof. So here we have a bird. That's a bird's eye view. Now the one above the horizon is going to be a worm's eye view, because we're going to be looking up underneath the building. So again, we're going to start with that box. So it's going to be a box like that. Let's use this black one. So we have this box, we have that box. Now we're going to put a box up here. So again, I'm going to make something about 2 inches long. And I'm just going to go to the other side of my ruler. And then I'm going to make the vertical lines to make those two lines connect. So now I have a box, and I'm going to go to the corners, from the corners to the vanishing point. So this is why we call it a worm's eye view, because we're looking at the bottom of the building as if it was floating in the air. To end the bottom of the building, we were on the right side of the building, and this right side of the building, both of these two lines are parallel to the horizon. So they're like this. So because the bottom is on the right side, we want that line to also be parallel to the horizon. So I put the T-square on the right side of my page and draw the line between these two corners. Then to end the building, this is the left side of the building, and on the left side of the building, it's going to the vanishing point, but it's a vertical that I need to draw. So verticals are always going to be at right angles to the horizon. So I put the T-square on the top or bottom edge of my page, and then I'm going to erase the lines that are going to the vanishing point. Alright, so the next step is to find the middle. Finding the middle just means drawing an X on the side that you want the peak to be on. And then I'm going to put my T-square on the top or bottom edge of the page, pencil in the center of the X, draw a line up, and then connect it to the corners. At any time, if you need a repeat, just rewind the video or back it up and watch it again. So now I want to put the roof on, but when I try, it's going to be going right through my building. So I don't need to draw it because it's way up above where nobody's going to see the roof. Unless they were in an airplane, and then they would be looking at it like that one. So I'm going to get rid of my X. And I'm going to get rid of my center line. And redraw this line. And now I want to put a door on this, and I also want to put a window. So I'm going to put a door on what I feel is the front side of my building. I'm going to pick a height for it. And then vertical lines perpendicular to the horizon. I'm going to do a window. I'm going to start with a line or a dot a little further in from the corner. Draw a vertical line and then connect it to my vanishing point. So now the window is going all the way to the end of the building, and I need it to stop before the end of the building, like about there. So I'm putting my ruler on the bottom edge of my page to get a nice perpendicular line, perpendicular to the horizon. Draw that vertical line and then erase your extra lines. You can use your blending stump and shade in your door and your window, make it look a little neater, and do a lot of erasing to neaten everything up. And on this one I didn't erase my X, but I want to get rid of that. Alright, so now if you want to get fancy, you can change the horizon is here, but we could make it look like there's a hill that this house is sitting on. And now it makes sense because it's on a hill. And you could change the background a little bit to make it look like it's the ground. Do the same thing here. Give it some grass. Make it look like there's a path coming out. So you can play around with it if you want to, if you have time and you want to put some details in there. Don't forget to take a picture of it and upload it to Turnitin.